Let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by CDV. And CDV writes, "Hey, John and Co. Well, hello there, CDV. Thanks for writing in. Firstly, thanks for all the great content over the years." Well, thank you for watching us over the years. Have you seen the report from Variety that James Gunn has brought Sly Stallone into the Suicide Squad? I find this really intriguing since principal photography was meant to have wrapped months ago. I guess this would suggest a small cameo. What do you guys think? Thanks again, and keep bringing the filthy. All right, man. Thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, James Gunn never fails to surprise us, keep us on our toes, delight us, all these sorts of good things. And the other day, he jumped online and he put out this official post on his social media where he said the following: "Always love working with my friend Sylvester Stallone, and our work today, he said when he posted this, our work today on the Suicide Squad was no exception. Despite Sly being an iconic movie star, most people still don't have an idea what an amazing actor this guy is. Academy Award nominations weren't enough? Believe James Gunn, he's actually quite an incredible actor." All right. So here's James Gunn saying Sly Stallone, they shot something that day. Is this, or does this suggest that whatever Sly is doing in the movie of Suicide Squad, this was just some tack-on thing at the end? Maybe. It's possible. Because if you just take everything at face value the way it was presented, James Gunn is saying, hey, me and Sly were working together today on something for Suicide Squad. And as CDV pointed out, this is a movie where really the photography on the film was done ages ago. It was done a long time ago. So maybe they're just doing some little pickups. But I do want to just point one thing out. There was nothing in that post that suggested they weren't doing work together before. All James said was that we did some work today. That he didn't at all say, this was our first day working on Suicide Squad together. He does not, all I'm saying is, listen, he did not eliminate the possibility that Stallone had already worked on the film. They just chose not to show us any of that when they put out their little sizzle reel at DC Fandom. So that is a possibility. Obviously, we all know that James Gunn has worked with Sylvester Stallone before because he appeared in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I expect to see Sylvester Stallone probably pop up in Guardians 3. So to have him pop in here, though, is still a surprise. But it is an interesting matchup here. Rob, let me ask you this. What did you think about this announcement that James Gunn made that him and Stallone are now working on Suicide Squad together? And what do you think this is more suggesting? Do you think it's suggesting that this is just a quick, short cameo that they just came in to shoot for one day, which clearly is a very solid possibility? Or do you think maybe that there's a possibility that he's been working on this film with him in other days as well, and he's just come in to do some reshoots? What do you think about it overall? And what do you think it means?
First of all, I think it's delightful. You know, the idea that James Gunn and Stallone are back together doing something. I don't think he was working on the movie proper necessarily. Maybe this was something that was always planned, but they couldn't make it work out because of COVID or some such thing, and they finally got to do it. I mean, I would assume that this is something that has been in the works for a while that James Gunn wanted to do, couldn't make it work. And you know, John, how things are today. I mean, with green screen, you can insert people into films. They could do whatever they needed to do. Maybe he's some kind of a general or something, that elder statesman. Who knows what it could be? Some, you know, grizzled badass from the past. Maybe the former leader of the Suicide Squad that makes a cameo at the end. Maybe he kicks off John Cena's Peacemaker show. I don't know. But I can't wait. I mean, I love Sylvester Stallone. I have since I was a kid. I don't know what it means. It's probably not a very big thing, but I think it was probably something that was always either planned or in the back of James Gunn's mind. And I think it was probably the final piece of the puzzle that he needed. And they're probably going to lock the film soon. I don't even know. Is it summer? Is it supposed to come out next summer?
Oh, I can't remember the actual release date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that James Gunn's in a position where he can pretty much just think stuff up and go do it.
I just called Stallone. Hey, what world do you live in where I can just pick up the phone and call Sylvester Stallone? Hey, you want to come down and appear this? I mean, that's the kind of world. Here, I'm going to give you something, Rob. I'm calling it here. You heard it here first, folks. This is an exclusive. I hate it when outlets use the term exclusive, but this is an exclusive. I am telling you right now. Sylvester Stallone is doing his cameo as the same character he played in Guardians of the Galaxy. He is one of the pirates. It's going to be the first time we're going to see the MCU and the DCU crossover. It's going to be the same character, Rob. Same guy.
You know what?
I don't actually believe that. But when it happens, you heard it here first.
But maybe they don't say that in the movie. But we know that they've come to Earth before, because that's how they picked up Star-Lord in the first place.
And tell me James Gunn isn't just crazy enough to try something like that. Because you're right. Maybe they don't even say anything. Maybe he just pops up and blah, blah, and they don't actually say anything. I'm just saying, if anybody is crazy enough to try a stunt like this, I wouldn't put money on this. I'm just saying, if anybody was crazy enough to try a stunt like that, it would be James Gunn.
I mean, it could be the end of the movie. A spaceship lands, Stallone comes out, and the remaining people who survived the mission said, "I need to borrow you guys for a while," and they fly off together, and they end the movie that way. I mean, who you think Kevin Feige's not going to let him do that?
Listen, like James Gunn is the only guy crazy enough to do it.
Yeah,
but Kevin Feige is such a nerd. Listen, we're just playing here. We're obviously just playing. But seriously, James Gunn is crazy enough to try something like that. And Kevin Feige, I believe, is a big enough nerd that he wouldn't immediately yell no. If James Gunn went to him with something like that, I believe Feige would go, "Let me sleep on that." I think it would at least be considered, because remember, listen, I don't believe we're going to see MCU and DCU crossover, but I remember the comics have. The comics on a number of occasions, Marvel and DC Comics have done crossover events before, and maybe something just a little something that doesn't actually disrupt the MCU or the DCU, and it's just a little wink of the eye to the fan. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think that's actually going to happen.
And Polka Dot Man are in this movie.
Yes, they are.
I mean, there's nothing to say. And again, if you don't say who it is, you just have Stallone come out in garb, whatever his costume is, and the fact that he might land in a ship that we don't necessarily have to know is a spaceship. I mean, how hilarious would that be? Yeah.
Now, to bring it back to the more normal, I mean, the reality is it is probably a shorter cameo. I don't think it's going to be anything very large. There is also a strong feeling out there that it's probably going to be that he's going to be voicing King Shark. There is a thought out there that he's going to be voicing King Shark. That's definitely within the realm of possibility and maybe even probability. So, but I don't know. When it's James Gunn, Rob, in a world where Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman, in a world that Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro, you can consider anything. Anything is possible.
I mean, if he's voicing King Shark, how great would that be?
That'd be pretty badass. That would be pretty good. Question is, guys, what do you think about this? Sylvester Stallone popping up in Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think maybe he also did shoot some stuff before? Maybe it's a little bit more than than a small cameo. Maybe it is just a small cameo. If so, what do you think it is? Is it voicing King Shark? Is it voicing another character? Is he actually going to appear on screen? What do you guys think? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.